Samkit, we are ready. Hello, namaskar and greetings to all of you. Welcome again for this Australia-India Innovation Bridge REHACK Hackathon Grand Finale. Glad to welcome all of you, the juries, esteemed juries from Australia and India, the panelists, and also all the finalists, the top 11, 10 plus 1 finalists who made it this far. I must admit, it's been a very busy last 6 to 8 weeks going through the whole process, along with our partners, T-Hub and IncubateIND. Thank them for all their coordination and support throughout the program. And more importantly, over the last 2 days, since yesterday, it's been quite intense. All the mentors who've supported us, and some of them here as well. Thank you all for your support and guidance right through this process to support the startup and the ideas that's been generated. And also all the startup ideas representing various startup teams as well as college-based teams out of India and the other countries as well. Great to see the passion, energy, and the participation so far. And I'm looking forward to an exciting session for this grand finale idea pitching. Again, congratulations to all of you who've been shortlisted for the final 11 for your pitch. And I look forward to a very enlightening session, and good luck with everything. I again thank all the jury members here who are representing both Australia and India ecosystem. I want to quickly recognize all of them. James Stewart, in no order, who's been part of the whole mentoring section as well, working late to support all of you. Welcome you, James. He's co-part of the Australian startup ecosystem out of Sydney. Welcome, James. I want to welcome Michael Sharp, who is the National Director for Australian Advanced Manufacturing Growth Centre. And he's definitely taken his time to join us today. Michael, welcome, and thank you for joining on board. Santosh Srinivasan has joined us from Chennai. Thank you again for you to take your time and coming on board for this session. Great to see you, and look forward to a closer working relationship ongoing as well as part of the Australia-India Innovation Bridge. Thank you, Santosh. Tim Regan, representing the George Institute, which is one of the leading medical research-based organizations, also into medical devices and pharma, solutions as well. Headquartered in Sydney, but also with a strong presence in India for the last 13 plus years. So thank you, Tim, for again taking your weekend time and coming on board part of the session. Mahadevan Shankar from Brisbane, who's been a national advisor for Australia-India Business Council for risk advocacy and strategy, and also runs an international consulting firm involved actively in handling the COVID situation globally, definitely between Australia and India ecosystem, who's been a great supporter for the Australia-India Innovation Bridge as well. Welcome, Mahadevan. Thank you. I want to also welcome Sai Sudha Chandrasekharan, joining us from Chennai, I believe, representing Invest India, Startup India, and also the Australia-Asia Pacific desk as well, representing Invest India leadership. Thank you, Sai Sudha, for joining on board.
Pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you. Samkit, we've covered all the jury. I'm just making sure that I've not missed anyone else in the jury. Okay,
and
thank you.
Irfan, you forgot Andy Gardner.
Oh, I can't see Andy somewhere on the screen. Okay, Andy Gardner, representing AMP Capital and also a non-exec director at Incu. He's been a great support representing the financial services sector and capital investments and equities, a great supporter of Australia-India Innovation Bridge, and actively involved in mentoring as well as launch of global startups across the ecosystem. Andy, welcome again on that note. Thank you. Namaskar again. All right. On that note, let's kick off the session, and over to you, Samkit and team, to take over and run through the proceedings for the pitch session. So all the participants and the finalists, again, good luck and best wishes, and we look forward to an exciting, enlightening session for all of us. Thank you. Over to you all.
Yes, I also welcome the teams here. So if all the jury members are ready, we can start with the team presentation. Yes? Okay. So Puneet, you can place the first team coming in is sixth off. I'm sending in the name in the chat section. Yes, Puneet, we are ready to go. Hello. Team 6DOF. Are you there? Shivam? Shivam Sharma, we cannot hear you. Can anybody acknowledge? Am I audible?
Hello.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello all.
Jury members, we have Shivam with us. So we can have the Q&A session.
Do you want to give your 1 minute elevator pitch?
Okay. Hello everybody. My name is Shyam Sharma from Team DOF. Our solution is Dhwani VR, a low-cost screening device for early detection of hearing loss. As we all know, early detection of hearing loss is quite important so that it doesn't result in a permanent hearing loss and it can be stopped under the age of 15. So, according to WHO, there are almost 6% population on Earth that is affected, and in India, more than 1 lakh babies affected with hearing loss. And if we caught that at the early stage, so we can prevent them from the permanent damage. Right now, the cost of hearing loss is quite high, and there is no currently low cost method to test it. So we are presenting our solution to for accessibility, and it doesn't require the use of audiologist. It can be performed by a normal hospital staff or any other doctor with simple training.
What is the stage of your product currently?
Yes, sir. The stage is in the prototype stage. We have developed from the VR perspective and the 3D audio. We have used Google Resonance Audio and Google VR for the effect because it's cost friendly and it can be applied anywhere and it's easy to use. Regarding the frequency, we are in consultation with audiologist because we are understanding the right range for the frequencies projected because we don't want to harm the child, and we want to our future vision is to convert this for all age groups. So right now it's for only children, and it will be introduced in schools as a health test because there is blood test, BP check, and everything, but there is no hearing loss test right now. So that's the gap of the market, and we are targeting that. After that, we'll make it for adults who suffer from hearing loss, onset of hearing loss, and also in the old age people, because in old age also you'll suffer from hearing loss. It gets depreciated after some time, and the effect. And in the medical field, we are using it post surgery effects because of the effect of harmful effect of ototoxic medicines. So it's a screening device that can be used in medical field and in all age group. So we have completed the VR and the development of the first prototype is ready, and we are adding more frequencies and more sounds to make it even more child friendly.
May I ask, what is the business model that you envisage for this product?
Pardon, sir?
What is the business model? How do you charge revenue?
Okay, sir. So we'll be costing it with the device 10,000 and installation cost 35,000 as a whole for 1 year, and with the maintenance and also basic 1 day training. So the test, if we apply in the rural also, because in rural, as the test is quite costly nowadays, so in rural villages they don't reach. So that's a quite difficulty, and we are trying to partner with the government because we have already win some awards and grants with the government institutions. So we are also working in that field. So we if we talk about per test, it will range from 50 to 100 rupees per test. So that will be per test cost, and if you go for one time, so that will be 35,000 for schools and hospitals and private. So we'll be organizing camps in the rural areas, so the government will be initiating that. So that's our second vision. And for business model, for revenue, we'll targeting schools, and a school market is huge, and there are already medical tests, weekly medical tests, monthly medical tests happening. We are trying to integrate with them, and in hospital also with the pediatricians and everything, because it will start from 3 to 5 years of age till 15 years.
I had a question. How does the device detect hearing loss? The example that you showed a lot of visuals with clicking on various items. I don't understand how hearing loss can be determined.
Yes, sir. Excellent question, sir. So right now, hearing loss is using headphones and everything, right? You obviously you know that if you want to test the hearing, you have to see the listening part. But the problem is that to grab the focus of a 3-year-old child is very difficult. You can't just wear headphones and expect him to behave like exactly. So what we do, we are using virtual reality because we want that child to be focused. So in virtual reality, as you see, we have child-friendly characters. We'll be having 3D models, so they'll be inspiring or guiding that you have to detect the sound. So the child will guess the source of sound, if it's left or right, and the tester will have full control. The screen will be projected on the desktop, and he will be changing. The toggle button is used by the tester, so he'll be changing the source of sound so that he can determine which sound is coming. So that's why we are mixing audio and visual to grab the focus and make it a more fun interacting experience. That's why we are to reality.
Hey, Shivam, this is Santosh. Have you looked at the space, and are there any other competitive products, and what are the price ranges?
Yes,
So-
in our videos like we have shown, right now there is ABR and OVR tests that start from 1.3 lakh and goes up to 5 lakh, but they are the advanced hearing tests. Right now, screening test is not there because the cost is too high. Parents shy away from getting hearing test, and even in their family, we have seen this problem that the grandparents or parents say that it just go away, it's just a temporary thing, because hearing loss is not considered such a big issue. But if we ignore it at the early stage, it results in the permanent loss. So right now there is no screening test. We have screening tests for everything like blood, urine, BP, everything we can screen, and then go for advanced tests like MRI and everything. So right now there are only advanced tests, but no screening tests available. So that's why it's quite costly to get a hearing test done.
Thanks, Shivam. Just to follow up on that slide that you showed the two competitors and yourself. What was the difference between the time for detection? Was it time for detection, or was it time
Yes,
for the
sir.
actual device
Yes, sir.
itself? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you for asking, sir. The time of detection till the time of results, because applying also the child has to like even like just take a simple example. You say the child you have to go to hospital, so the child will be scared because there are so many wires. They think they'll get injection and everything else. So in this test, the child is faced with a lot of wires stick to their head, and like multiple wires on their head because neocentric. So the child also gets scared, and it takes a lot of time, like 10 to 15 to just set up, and then the results come after 1 to 2 hours. In our test, it's determined immediately. You can see the result. You are just changing the frequency. You are seeing your result on your own, and it's just happening at the same time in the matter of 10 minutes. But in other tests, you have to wait for your results to get back because it gives a full graph of all the readings and everything else.
Got it. Thank you.
Hi, Shivam, this is Mahadevan.
Yes, sir.
I think you answered a couple of other questions I had earlier, but my question would be what's the chances of your product becoming obsolete in terms of technology and the competitors picking up the product and manufacturing something at a much cheaper rate?
Okay, sir. So, sir, I think regarding virtual reality, it's the future, and we have been working in virtual reality from past 3 years in India, so it's quite a space to be in. And the price point we have determined for the government is quite low right now. Even if you take a highest virtual reality like Oculus, we are not using Oculus or Vive. That's the highest VR versions available on the market. We are using a Google Cardboard that costs around 500 to 600 rupees as a starter. So even if the go price point low, we can lower because we'll be expanding our units, and we'll be in the inventory also we'll have our VR headset, so we can contact the manufacturer that we need this and this. Even if we tie with government, so that will be a big push for us. So obviously we'll can reduce the rate because machine cost is already low, and the app we are making, and already we have filed a patent also, so we are waiting for that approval also. So it's also not going to counterfeit also.
So
Okay,
one
thank you.
one other question: have you baselined against any other solution, saying what is the effectiveness of your solution versus others?
Yes, sir. Effectiveness as we compare to other solutions, because we can't compare the effectiveness parameter exactly because they are the more advanced versions. Ours is a screen test, as I said. So obviously it's between 95% 100% because you can see, and you have control of everything. The tester can change the frequency, the direction, and also the graphics, because we are trying to make more graphics, more scenes. And as we are speaking, we are also testing with some other children also in schools, and so we are always updating us, so the graphics and everything is quite updating, so that regarding the efficiency, uh, it's around 95 to 100% because it's on available on eyes only in front of you. There's no hidden result or hidden back, so that's
Thank you.
Any more questions, Jury? We are up with Shivam's time for now.
Hi, Shivam. I just have one question. I want to understand what is your plan for scaling it up, because you said you would like to have this product be applicable for adults as well. So for children, you're trying to kind of mix the visuals and try to see how they react and try to figure out their hearing aid ability. So how do you plan to scale it up, and how does it apply to the adults?
okay, ma'am. So ma'am, as you know, the body of child and an adult difference in bone structure, in vision, everything, and in hearing also it's a different, because there is certain type of range of decibels that a child can listen only, and when as you develop into adult you stop listening to the frequencies. So you must have heard of that. So we are actually working on that we are determining the range. So we have determined the range for child, but we are also working in the adult range, because in old age you start depreciating your hearing loss and everything, you start having that. So we'll work on that and we'll include in the adult group that. So it's just a matter of frequencies, with different age group, different frequencies, different hearing range, and different hearing loss. So it can be same as the adult and the child.
Okay.
Thank you, Shivam. Thank you for presenting and for being with us here on this
Thank you
journey of
so much.
REHACK. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you for all
So-
the questions. Great.
Thank you, Shivam. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Jury, can you have this course? You can do it from the dashboard.
Thank you.
For reference, the team name is in the chat section. Also, Shiva, you can log off from the meet room and you can watch it live on YouTube for now.
Okay, sure. Thank you, everybody.
Sure.
Bye.
Thank you. So meanwhile, we are scoring. I'm sending in the next team, which is programmers.
Hello.
Just hold on.
Sure.
We'll start in 1 minute. Yeah. Jury, once you're done, just let me know so that we can start with the second. We start?
Yep, all good, Shakti.
Yeah.
Okay. Puneet, can we have a video?
Which is this team?
This is team programmers. Which
Programmers. Okay.
Yes.
Hello everyone, my name is Shesh Singh and I'm a third year computer science student.
Hello everyone, myself Sayam Kumar Singh. I'm a third year information science student.
Hello everyone, I'm Avikant Srivastav and I'm a third year information science student.
There is an apparent resource misallocation in different states, which led to shortage of beds and unnecessary casualties, which could have been avoided if there was a proper communication between the states. Our idea is to remove the bottleneck in the supply chain by establishing an efficient link between the distributors with surplus bed availabilities to the clients with the shortage of beds and other essentials. Surplus computation is done by taking the upper bound of the requirement with 9.
I think we lost.
Yeah, we lost the
the
sound.
presentation.
Puneet, could you pause it once? Now, Shubham, is this section have audio or is it like this only?
No, it has audio. It has audio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we cannot hear you. Puneet, can you just unmute yourself?
I'm starting it.
Pardon, can you repeat?
Oh, just start this once again.
Sure.
I reckon Puneet needs to keep his audio on, not mute him.
Can we have the video?
Hello everyone, myself Sayam Kumar Singh. I'm a third year information science student.
Hello everyone, I'm Avikant Srivastav and I'm a third year information science student.
There is an apparent resource misallocation in different states, which led to shortage of beds and unnecessary casualties, which could have been avoided if there was a proper communication between the states. Our idea is to remove the bottleneck in the supply chain by establishing an efficient link between the distributors with surplus bed availabilities to the clients with the shortage of beds and other essentials. Surplus computation is done by taking the upper bound of the requirement with 95% confidence intervals and computing the difference between the beds available and required.
Now I'll be talking about the tech stack. So the data analysis and feature engineering was carried out to estimate the shortage of resources in different states. Machine learning was used to carry out time series analysis for future predictions, and Flask was used to carry out the backend operations, and dashboard was created using D3JS. So now we would brief you about the business prospect of a project. Mainly we are targeting two stakeholders, that is, the government and the distributors. The government would act as the primary investor since we will be providing them insights on bed availability, and this will deal with the resource scarcity in government controlled sectors like government hospitals. The second role of the government would be to act as facilitators in the field of logistics so that the delivery of resources becomes seamless.
We will be providing subscription plans to all our distributors, which include private hospitals and manufacturers. Subscription plan will include a recommendation engine to funnel essentials to the clients, which include hospitals with shortage of beds. Once the essential vaccine for the pandemic is released, there will be an intense demand for the product. So to ease out the process, we provide a dashboard that connects the surplus distributor to the appropriate client.
So now let's talk about the scalability part. Until a vaccine is released, the demand of resources continues to be there since some countries are witnessing a second wave of coronavirus. And once the vaccine is out, the demand of vaccine distribution would skyrocket. This makes our product 100% scalable since we're covering both the current as well as the future scope of business.
Let's talk about the system design. We take COVID-19 and hospital bed data, then run it through our machine learning pipeline and do COVID forecasting as well as map-based location density. Now, this data is fed into the backend server and then to the front-end clients, web app for B2B services and a mobile app for B2C services. And we also provide a daily SMS-based service for COVID updates. So here is a tour of our working prototype, which includes data came out of our machine learning pipeline. On the left side, we have bed availability data, which includes a state-wise distribution of the beds available. And on the right side, we have a pie chart describing the higher and lower bounds of the beds available. Then we have top 3 supplier chart. And on the right side, we have number of COVID cases over the months. We also have top states with surplus of beds. And here's a plot of the same. Then moving on to the map, we have used a chloropet map of United States and it shows deceased, active and recovered cases of each state. We have also worked on time series analysis of COVID data using machine learning, and here is a plot of same. The data shown in this demo is updated regularly, and that concludes our working demo of the prototype.
Team programmers, you're there, right? Jury, we can have the questions for them.
Yes.
I think one of you, it's very noisy. I think.
Yes. Shresh,
you to. Hello.
Shresh, you're very noisy background there. So can Avikant or anyone else go for?
Is it fine now? Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. Better.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
So do you want to give your 1 minute elevator pitch? Because it was obviously very technical and very data driven. So give us your 1 minute pitch, elevator pitch, and talk through the commercial aspect as well.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Shesh, and we represent team programmers. And our main objective of the project is, like, in these trying times of COVID-19, we did some research and we came out with a problem that has been overlooked by governments all around the world. So the matter of fact is, some states in different countries have excess of resources such as hospital beds, whereas some other states have less resources than they require. So, for example, hospital A in some state has 100 beds, and we calculated the maximum number of beds required for a particular hospital by using statistics. So suppose we calculated the total number of patients in that hospital to be 40. So we are having 60 excess beds. Now in some other state, hospital 2 has 100 patients but only 60 beds. So there are 40 bed shortage in state 2. So what we are doing is, we are publishing a dashboard so that the governments and the hospitals can access that and see the states where there is a surplus of beds. So what could happen is the states with surplus of beds can transfer their bed and resources to the states with shortage of beds. This would lead to unnecessary. This would stop the unnecessary deaths that has been caused due to the shortage of beds. Now, statistically speaking, we calculated the casualties that were due to the shortage of beds. Now we came out with the fact that 55% of times states had beds. Some states, some rich states did have beds, and 45% of times poor states didn't have beds. So what actually what could have happened is the rich states could have given their beds to the poor states so that the casualties could have been avoided. So
Thank
that's
you.
what. Yeah.
I was hoping to get a 1 minute elevator pitch.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole algorithm to be explained. Thank you. But obviously, the challenges are that different states have their own quarantine. They have, they can't, I mean, if it's medical equipments and other resources, understandable. But beds, which are like physical assets, they don't tend to, if there is a quarantine, there are challenges where they move patients between the states. Have you thought that through?
Yeah. See, so what we actually did is we calculated, we took the number of beds from the data. We applied a statistical formula to using 95% confidence interval to determine the maximum number of beds that they might require. Okay, so that would be the upper bound of beds they would require. More than that, it would not be necessary for them at that particular interval. So for that shortage of time, they can give their excess beds to the states that are suffering with shortage of beds. So it could be a balance. The resource will be allocated in a balanced fashion. Yeah.
We have actually also worked with the COVID trends, and we have done a time series analysis of the COVID trend using various machine learning methods. So we are basically, in a rough way, we are predicting how much the COVID rise will be there in the coming months. So with the knowledge of this, we can actually redirect, or at least tell the government people to redirect the beds.
Have you done any validation with any of the government agencies so far?
No, not yet.
It was a prototype, and we were working with the data only.
Okay, thank you.
Programmers, it's Mahadevan here. I got a quick question. I have been involved a bit with the National Disaster Management Authority, and your concept is pretty good. It's more like a dynamic platform that you're doing, but the applicability of it seems a bit too remote, and it's more COVID specific. Like Irfan mentioned, you're talking of physical movement of human beings between states, and India has its own political challenges as well as the decision making. You have a federal government and the states are given their authority. So let's say there is patients in Chennai. Using your platform, how soon is the patient going to go to Mumbai or to Delhi, where there is a bed capacity, and will the patient survive the journey?
Yeah, no. We won't transfer the patients. We would transfer the beds through. It could be done through airplanes or trains. So we'll be transferring beds to and fro from states which have excess and which have shortage. So that would be the main thing. And for future scalability, if we establish a connection between governments, this could also be beneficial in vaccine distribution. Like hospitals could approach our services, and we could upscale that for vaccine distribution as well. The states that require excess of vaccines would be redirected. The vaccines would be redirected to them, and the distributors can actually see in the dashboard that which states have the highest potential for sales for most number of vaccines. So that could be a beneficial part for distributors as well, and we could charge them for that, for providing that data.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I understand this could be for ventilators or any medical equipment, not just beds.
Okay.
But how do you plan to charge? What is the price point here?
Okay, Sayam would cover that part. Sayam?
Yes, we will be giving them subscription plans, which will be having minimum charge as for the clients, which are distributors, and the governments will be the funding part, and the plans will be as follows. and we will be charging the distributors for our dashboard. Our dashboard will give them the link of all the hospitals and the facilities that they require, so that the transfer is smooth.
Okay, I believe there are no more questions now. Thank you to the programmers. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks a lot. Nice meeting you all. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Okay. Bye bye.
Yes, you can put up this course now. Also, I would just request the jury members to put up 2 to 3 questions at max, because we do not want the last teams to get in rush. So we want it equally divided. Team programmers, if you're done, so you can leave it now. We have the next team with us.
Okay.
So I'm sending in the name in the chat section. It's Emmanuel Abdive. Puneet, if the jury members are ready, we can start. Are we good to go? Jury?
Yes, please proceed.
Yes, ready.
Yes, Puneet.
My name is Chabu Mchishi, the CEO and co-founder of Smart Technologies. Our team is made up of Elias, the CFO, Emmanuel, a back-end developer, Lee, a full-stack developer, John, a full-stack developer. Our tech stack includes, on the back end, we use MS SQL, Java, Node.js. From the front end, we use HTML, CSS, React.js, and on the mobile, we use Java, React Native, and on the desktop apps, we use Electron.js. Our idea and implementation of our e-learning portal was born due to the high cost of learning experience in Africa. We saw an opportunity and developed a pilot and gave it out for free for 30 days, which saw us on board more than 6,000 subscribers. And then we went on a full test drive through adverts with continuous corrections and improvement. Our business perspective is that we want to onboard more than 1 million customers, which are K-12 students, in the next 1 year throughout Africa. And this will be achieved through strategic partnerships.
Can we have just Chabuski?
Chabuski, if you can give your 1 minute elevator pitch, because that was not audible at all. So maybe we need you to share a bit more details.
Also, you are on mute if you're speaking.
Okay.
Yeah, introduce yourself and where you are based, please.
All right, thanks, Ifan. So my name is Chabu Mchinshi, the CEO and co-founder of Smart Technologies. We are a company that develops edutech solutions across Zambia, and our solution is aimed at K-12 pupils who have no access to school, no access to books, and no access to revision classes because of COVID. And also, our business model is very simple. We charge 99 cents per month per kid, and also they pay using mobile money, Visa, MasterCard. And also our team is made up of Elias, Michael, Lee, and also we have more than 15 years of industry experience with strategic partnerships with MNOs in Zambia, Zamtel Telecom Communication, the Ministry of Education, and also iSchool Africa, and also Longman Africa, helping us with e-books that we're using on our platform, and also so we have 2,000 paying customers, and also we have a robust marketing and strategy in terms of data promos. And also what is making our platform unique is that we are giving it without data, so it's zero rated, hence a lot of kids are able to get online and learn, and also continue to revise while schools are still closed. And also that comes to a point where in the next 1 to 2 years, we envisage to onboard more than 1 million students across Africa. Thank you.
What is your USP? What is your differentiation of the whole value proposition? And obviously there are quite a few competitive products and solutions in the market.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Ifan. Our USP is that our software marks pupils automatically if they are taking their revision past examination questions. So we have digitized the past papers, we have digitized the solutions. We have also made sure that we are the only partner with the Ministry of Education and also the Examination Council of Zambia. And also our platform is zero rated. It is also the cheapest in terms of affordability. We are less than $1, while our major competitors, their softwares are around $200 to access the portals.
Okay.
Where do you source the content for the platform?
Sorry, come again.
Where do you source the educational content that you distribute through your platform? The lessons.
All right,
books.
thank you. So we have strategic partnerships with the Ministry of Education. So what happens is that we hire private who help us, women teachers. So they help us to give solutions to the past examination questions. And then we subject those solutions to the Curriculum Development Center of Zambia, which validates and confirms every time before we upload on the platform. They have to make sure that those content and the videos and the solutions conform with the Zambian curriculum program. So we are in partnership with the council and the Curriculum Development Center, and also the Examination Council of Zambia, who also help us to get the correct key and the marking keys and solutions. Because, for example, I might give a solution to a question, but I do not understand how to technically give a wrong question so that I do not confuse a learner. Thank you.
Chabuski, it's Tim here. I have a question for you. Currently, you have 25,000 customers, and congratulations. You said you want 1 million customers. What is the break-even point in your operating model?
Thank you, Tim. Our break-even model, those 25,000 plus customers have come in the last 120 days. So we are looking at if we can give ourselves another 24 months, it means, and the way the situation is of COVID, we can make this a break-even in around maybe say 3 years, looking at the uptake of e-learning in Africa.
Okay, do you have any idea how many customers you need to break even?
We need 1 million customers.
Oh,
so for example, the total available market in Zambia alone is 6 million. And the serviceable available market, that those who are always writing exams every year, they are 1.4 million. So we are targeting those. Then we are also, with the help of the Ministry of Education, we are now going to South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Malawi on the government, because our solution is scalable. Within months, we do it, we program it, we structure it to a ministry and the country, then we think we can break even with 1 million customers and be profitable.
Thank you and good luck.
Chabuski, it's Mahadevan from Brisbane. Pretty interesting product. I'm just thinking, following through from Tim's question, not sure if you heard of the White Hat Junior success story in India about a month ago, where they sold out within 20 months with a revenue run rate of 150 million. And they also have some e-learning platform like yours. Maybe you should look it up. My question to you is, what is your dependency on the government, considering that you said you're going to be relying predominantly on government as a source of revenue? And what if tomorrow some minister decides he wants to get his brother or uncle or nephew into the business and they take you out on the competition?
Oh, thanks. I will take that up. What happens is, for what we have from our learning and feedback, is that these pupils and parents are very scared to expose their kids to any type of material, which is a lot of material out there. So when we have a validation and a partnership with the Ministry of Education, it means now a parent is able to quickly pay because it's coming from a legitimate source. Meaning, we have also gone into a partnership with Airtel. So we are partnering with MTN because we believe they have the numbers, and then even if we are not in good terms with the government, still more we have a freelance e-learning, for example, with Airtel and MTN. The other one with Zamtel is called the Ministry of Education. So we are really the biggest edtech in Zambia. So all the partners and the telecoms who have more than 15 million customers are supporting us, and we think we can still be in the game.
Okay, so you're not dependent on just the government as a source of revenue. It is scalable across other countries wherever education is issue. Okay, thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, Chabuski, for joining in. Thank you for presenting. Jury members, we can have the scorings now. Sure, I'll make sure we ask 2 questions from now onward. Whenever we are ready for the next team to come in, I'm sending the team name in the chat section. Puneet, can we have the video? The next team is Innova. I have sent in the name in the chat section also. Yes, we're good to go.
Demonstrating project on IoT-based smart shoes for the visual impaired to make it easier for them to navigate around known and unknown places both indoors and outdoors. An estimated 285 million people worldwide are visually impaired. 1% of the population is blind in the world, and 10% from that fully blind. As per the given statistic, it is of the major importance to consider the problems the visually impaired are facing. We are crossing many streets together. Those intersections may be the most complex. Before making a turn, we should have to prepare. Normally, people are finding new paths using Google Maps or reading the road naming boards, or they can ask to get help from others. Another thing is they can avoid barriers easily without getting into accidents. But how fully blind people are facing this matter? I proposed an IoT-based prototype wearable device and a system to guide the blind person to reach the destination from another place. Right-hand side showing the rich picture of the proposed solution. This project has a device, mobile application, and the cloud server. All the controls can be done via the voice commands and using the volume controls. Therefore, both indoor and outdoor navigation was made available from this one system. Another main feature of this system is its ability to notify users about barriers detected by using the speed of the user as a considerable factor. The fast-walking ones can be notified earlier in order to prevent them from facing any accidents. Another important thing is all the decisions turning coordinates the location which found the obstacles. All the data will be stored in the cloud storage against the route ID. To increase the accuracy of this system, datasets will be important to train this device. Arduino scripts and Java language used to write unique algorithms. If this is an outdoor location, the destination and route details are identified using the Google Maps. Based on this information, the mobile app decides to identify the curves in the road. Those points are shown in blue in the image on the right side. The next step is to find the nearest point and the distance to that point. Once arrived at this point, the next nearest point will be detected. Reach the destination, this scenario is done continuously and repeated until it meets the destination. When the user comes back and meets the previous points again, the app will be identified as the nearest point. This scenario will be executed when the destination is in an outdoor place.
Where do you want to go?
I want to go bus stop.
Location found. Location named as bus stop. You have to go approximately 731 meters to reach the destination. Do you want to continue?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, let's go. Two steps, turn right. Barrier in 3 steps. 1 step, turn left. Turn left. Turn very slightly to 1 step, turn left. Turn right. 2 steps, turn right. 2 steps, turn right. Turn left. Barrier in 4 steps. Barrier in 3 steps. 2 steps, turn right. Turn right. You reach the home gate.
I hope this project will benefit the visually impaired as most of the missing features in the current system are included.
Thank you, Puneet. Can we have Team Innova?
Yeah.
Yes. Jury members, we can have the questions for very precisely 2 to 3 questions.
What is the stage of your product? Is that being validated in the market already?
No, validating the marketing sense, we have sent to blind schools and we have tested with blind people, visually impaired. So, and also we have demoed this project to several companies and they are willing to invest on it. So that is how we have evaluated the project.
It's Mahadevan from Brisbane. Besides visually impaired, your product possibly has applicability into a lot of the defense as well as into the security agencies. Is there any
Exactly.
plans to adapt it?
So, for example, for cars, for sensors, so barrier detection is the barrier detection part of the system can be used. Like, so it notifies the person or it notifies through the system to every turn. So especially when walking, we can do this. But if we are implementing it into cars, then we are just so before so not through steps. We are giving through a velocity or something through acceleration. We are notifying the user if we are implementing it in the class. So that is the change we have done. If we are so not only shoes, the barrier detection part is actually useful for many other implementations as well.
Thank you.
So one question is, how do you power the solution? Because I think you need a lot of battery power, right, for this thing?
Yeah, so battery power, we are using the battery. Yeah, the name of the battery we are using here is so we are actually using a log. So we have done load testing for this. So and for low power consumption because yes, I'm finding the name of the battery. Stellan, are you here?
Yes. Yeah.
5-volt battery.
Yeah, we are using 9-volt battery for this. For that, I am not recommending that battery, but we are the future enhancement. We are adding the energy harvesting for the fresher heels. That's what I recommend for the before the production level.
Okay.
Is this a one size fits all kind of an attachment kind of a device?
Yeah, it's attached to the fresher heels. Yeah, you mean the battery?
No, the entire device you attach
Yeah,
it to
yeah.
a shoe. One size fits all.
Yeah, currently in the prototype level, we attach the modules to the shoe. In the production level, we are planning to do the belt attached device.
Okay.
Yeah, then that belt can be attached to the customer's own shoes in the production level.
What are your competition looking like and how are they priced? Because I saw your production cost is about $33 and you intend commercializing it at about $199, right?
Yeah, because it is overhead to the development cost also. And when we are going to the bulk development, it's not depend on that development cost. It is a break even.
Okay. No, so what are your competitors in the market?
Before the implementation, we analyzed those competitors. Last year, 10th October, Google introduced the Google Map concept for the visual impaired, and this is only supported the outdoor places, and it is not given the alert based on the barriers in the outside. And another system is a smart gate. That also given the notification. It is support indoor and outdoor, and it is given the alerts based on the barriers, but it is not given the decisions making. It's smart gate, but our solution is given the making the decision when user met the barrier, which side need to be turned in the life, so that given the best decision.
Sensor based. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Julie, we can have one more questions if anybody want to ask a quick question. Anyone? Okay, so we're good to go. Thank you, Team Innova. Thank you for presenting.
Thank you, dear mentors, and thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So they were from Sri Lanka, eh? Okay, thank you.
Jury, you can mark this course. This was Team Innova, which has presented. we have our next team ready. Just let me know when we're good to go.
Yes, please.
Okay. So the next team up is yes. I have sent in the name in the chat section. Puneet, you have the video.
Greetings to the jury.
Okay.
This is Praveen Kumar from New.
Yes, we're good to start.
Greetings to the jury. This is Praveen Kumar from New Delhi, India, and I'm going to present REHACK to you. So my role in our team is to execute and develop and work on execution part as well as an IoT instructor, while other two, Miran and Ishwar, lead the AI segment. So AI, IoT, and other emerging technologies are no longer the future, and it has started impacting products, jobs, as well as opportunities. But unfortunately, no such platform exists right now, which is upskilling the student in the age group of 6 to 18 with basics in outcome-based learning, which is missing from the current learning ecosystem. We are here to make it possible and make it accessible to masses at an affordable price point with extensive features. Let's have a look at the prototype. So instead of going on to YouTube and various other Google websites to search for tutorials and code fragments and learn a new technology, the student simply downloads the REHACK application, goes onto it, presses on Enter Your Hub after signing up. And what he sees on the screen is a dashboard wherein he's getting all the information about what kind of courses he's enrolled into right now, and he can go on to it. So let's say the person is enrolled in the Internet of Things course. He goes to Internet of Things and he gets the entire curriculum. So he presses on the IoT system design and it loads up. So what he sees on the screen is entire set of information that he requires in order to learn the skill, in order to build. Then he gets today's assessment, wherein he could simply press, wherein this window will open up and he can start with the assessment by just clicking on this button, and he'll get this entire assessment wherein we have feeded more than 5,000 questions in our backend through which the user can have an incremental learning trajectory. So here, if there are options for him, he simply chooses this one, which is the correct one, and presses on next. As we have the project-based approach, what the user can do is click on this icon and he gets the build now option, wherein there are suggestions based on what kind of course he's enrolled into and what kind of level they've reached in order to move ahead with the building of projects. Now talking about the free access dashboard that is given to any student coming on our website can sign up and enter this particular dashboard, wherein he's getting all the information that he requires in order to start learning for free and then enroll into our micro courses which are paid. And then we have everyday episodes which gets uploaded on our platform by the instructors, by us. So if let's say the student has worked on a concept of smart dustbin, we talk about what kind of difficulties he faced by building it, what kind of vision he has in order to pursue it further. Right now what you can see is the leaderboard where the students can see what kind of projects have been developed by the top developers on the REHACK platform. And then we have courses, mentorship, build, IoT, AI, and app development resources are totally free of cost, curated by our mentors so that the student not only learns by paying something, but also gets something free of cost. This is again creating a good amount of value for the students. Then they can publish projects and they can view various projects done by developers, get into those GitHub repositories and learn something. Through this dashboard itself, they can enroll for our courses. So if the student presses on this, he can go to register now. He can simply, let's say, go on to this and he can register himself within a minute. So this is how simple we are making this entire process for a student to learn a new skill, and more than that, build on it. So as tech stack, we are using Amazon AWS, which is highly scalable. When lots and lots of data comes in, they're using OneStack for the overall platform development and React Native for the app. So now talking about the business feasibility, we have had organic initial traction. We are currently having 400 plus students on board in the last 2 months, around 550 plus enrolled for our courses, and we've had a successful virtual bootcamp. Moreover, we are tapping in a market of 37.4 million students enrolled in higher education in India, and this number grows to $315 million around the globe. EdTech market in India is about $90 billion and now growing at a very fast pace after the COVID situation, and the number increases when you talk about scaling it globally. We believe if the student cannot attend MIT, he should be able to get equivalent amount of education, and we are here to make it possible. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you. Can we have the team?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes. Jury members, we can have the questions now.
Thank you. What stage is your app, Praveen? Have you already launched this in the market? Done any early validation?
Yes, sir. So our application right now is currently, I guess my voice is echoing. Just a second. Yes, sir. So my application, the application that we have developed is only being used right now with the enrolled students and has not been launched on the App Store or the Play Store, but the signed copy of the APK has been provided to the students and it has been validated by them and is being used. So right now we are just having all the features updated on our application. Once it's totally ready to get into the market, then we launch in the Play Store as well as the App Store. We have just started in the last 2 months. We cannot say that we have totally built the entire thing, but we are just starting. And the application was developed in the last 2 months, and the web platform was fast-tracked during this hackathon. And that's what I have developed during this hackathon, the web platform that I showed you just now. Yeah, we are on the alpha stage right now, and we'll be good to go in the next 1 month on the Play Store or the App Store for other students to download it and use it as per their learning pace. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a highly competitive space. There's a lot of players there, Udemy to Unacademy to all of those. So how do you differentiate yourself?
Absolutely.
And make yourself commercially viable?
Yes, I'll just share the screen with you. Just a second. Yeah, so let me know when my screen is visible.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so so right now there are two major competitors who are playing in this sector right now in the sector of programming as well as the technical side. Udemy, Coursera, these all courses are available, but they are expensive and they are not meant for this K-12 segment when they can learn new things. Whitehat JR right now, I've also added their tariff plans, you can have a look at the price point. But meanwhile, what differentiates us from them is the cost-effective micro courses. If they are targeting 100 students with a course of 10,000, we are targeting 10,000 students with the price point of 1,000. It's the exact same thing, and it will help us to scale more than them. And also, Whitehat JR was acquired by Byju's for $300 million, and one of the major crucial factor was that Whitehat JR targeted the well-to-do families of abroad as well as India, and that is what made them different from, that is what made Byju's acquire it. So that approach, I feel, is not scalable. Mahatma Gandhi also said that we are built for the poor and you'll be able to scale. Because targeting the well-to-do families and targeting at a high price point is something that I don't feel is scalable. Obviously, they have achieved the profitable stage of their company, but we are targeting on scaling it on a much larger platform. Then upskilling in emerging technologies, outcome-based learning experience. That is what not focused on these existing platforms. So if I do a course at Whitehat JR, or if I do a course at Camp K12, at the end, what I learn is how to build a calculator. But that is not what the journey of students is going to be in the next 5 years. And in order to validate this, yeah, just a second. So talking about the value proposition, as I said, what we are trying to do right here is we are targeting on a large, building this platform for masses and having a project-based approach on our platform. So the students are learning on our platform and we are not leaving their hand after the course. We are having them in our community. They can build, they can publish, and they can further scale on. So, yeah.
I think it'll be good to bring some corporate internship as well element there. So the outcomes are also kind of strengthened by some kind of further experience as well that's offered through the platform. Anyway, over to you all. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I got a quick question. It's Mahadevan from Brisbane. You're targeting the K to 12 and your price points are low. The generic assumption would be if it's cheap, it's not good enough. That doesn't necessarily apply to education platforms, considering India needs about 60 million upskilled on an annual basis. That is more on the 12 and above. So how is it that you're going to attract students or the low-income people into your platform, given the entire infrastructure and support that's required around it with connectivity issues across India?
I totally got your point, sir. So as you said, in order to build trust in the students and know that this is a platform of quality, we are having a freemium model wherein the student getting onto our website gets a free access to our dashboard, wherein we are putting all the curated resources as well as the daily episodes, as I mentioned, which is just a factor of engagement with the students, so that they get to know the quality of education that they'll get here, and that we are going to do, cater it to them in the most cost-effective manner. So the dashboard is totally free of cost. They can engage with other students. They have a peer-to-peer learning model, and this has been effective in the past with other kinds of companies. So we are trying to build that using this dashboard. And further, if they, if they are into a particular skill and if they want to get upskilled in a particular category, they can go for a micro courses. And yeah, and we'll also try to, work more on how we can build trust in the students and let them know about the quality. We have also arranged a boot camp in the last 1 month, in which we about 300 plus students joined, in which we brought about leaders of emerging technologies so that they can guide them the K-12 segment in the most basic manner and tell them that how they can move forward. So these are the kind of activities we are trying to put in order to get the—
Sorry to interrupt, but what's the revenue model arising from all of this from year 1, 2, 3? Is there going to be revenues coming through too?
Absolutely. So I'll just change to this slide. Yeah. So right now, tapping on the consumer market of 37.4 million students in India enrolled in high school. So if we scale it to a global level, this would increase to 315 million students. But more than that, we are collaborating with schools and organizations who are into this sector. So right now, we have also tried to reach out to Rishi Hood University, one of the leading university in India, which is going to come up, and we are in talk with them. So once that is done, we are going to expand to the B2B model also with the schools, because this is what is the future right now. And to talk about what kind of validation has been done from the government side, CBSE, IBM introduces AI curriculum in 200 schools. So in the beginning of this year, people said that AI will be introduced in the school, but this would take a lot of time. They've just given the orders. But right now, what we see on July 17, 2020, this has already started and it is being implemented. So that is what we think is an early market to tap into, and we'll be the early movers in the sector. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Praveen. Thank you for presenting.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us. Jury, we can have this course for team. Team, you can leave the meeting room now, and you can stream live on YouTube.
Thank you, Shakti. You could.
We have the next thing with us. It's Lazarus Network. Puneet, can we have the video?
Solutions for everyone. Our team consists of myself, Gaurav, Anish, and me, who have experience in full stack development, cloud computing, blockchain development, smart contract, and application development. So when we talk about cyber attacks, personal security becomes a very big challenge, because it doesn't just stops at email phishing, but also it involves cyber thefts involving malware, spyware, or e-commerce platforms. Also, if you're using any third-party application, that also has many flaws. When we talk of enterprise security, as more offices direct employees to work from home during COVID-19, there are a lot of companies that are getting vulnerable to cyber attacks, and they are not only talking about email security, but also malware, ransomware, directory harvest attack, and there's always the problem of digital data and document theft, where lack of ownership of data is becoming a common issue. A common particular breach takes about 6 months to a year to time to detect and contain that threat, and 77% of these cyber attacks are targeted towards SMEs. So if you talk about the market, so there is an increase in frequency of the sophistication of cyber attacks, and there are stringent data protection regulations for information security, making it harder to use third-party applications, especially interacting with managed service provider for privileged access management, and the market is always growing. So I created VPN and firewall solution for individuals and SMEs to take control of their entire internet. So if you're an enterprise or if you're a user, you'll have a lot of applications and solutions running in either on cloud or on the prem. And our solution fits between the application layer and the network of the home or your office, where our entire smart contract layer manages which websites are going to be blocked, which particular applications are going to be allowed. So we use Dockers to create the dedicated private network, which uses a WireGuard protocol, and there is a global domain list where there are certain blacklists and there are certain allow lists which you can control, and all of it will have several other applications running on top of it. We are using Postgres data as a database and Masternode for API management system, where our applications is made in PHP and MySQL. For scaling, we can use faster blockchain and private contracts. For infrastructure stability, scalability, we can use Terraform, and we can use coded infra and automated workflows, so becoming more safe and more private and secure. If you talk about competition, we definitely are unique in the entire market, where we are bundled with private blockchain, we are having imprint support, and definitely an access control list gives us an edge over other competitors. So let's see the demo. So as you can see, I already have got a WireGuard installed, and I'm connected to an Android client. That's the client name. So here there are two clients added. I can create another client, say laptop, and give it an email. And a particular network. A particular device would be created to connect to the network. And this is our firewall. So here you can see there's a dashboard where you can access how many devices are currently connecting. And so currently I've got three devices connected to the network. And here I can see how many threats have been blocked, how many, what are the percentage, how many domains are currently on the block list. We're using Gravity List, which is open source list, and we can add more domains into the blacklist. So as you can see, I've already added Twitter and Facebook. If I wanted to add, say, about IO, if I put in wildcard, it will be added. So let's see what happens when we access Facebook. So the website would see that it's not entirely connected to the network at all, but you will be using internet for any of your other applications. And I can show you that the same happens with the Twitter as well. If you see the Times or any other website which has like a lot of ads, a lot of threats are going to be blocked directly on the network layer, which means a lot of ads or malware, which you usually see, you will not be able to view it on the website. If I want to show you, there you can see that there will be a lot of things which will be blocked. So a lot of apps would be blocked off. So back to our presentation. So our focus during this time is on the cloud security and application security. Definitely it involves more on to system security part, where managed services provider are giving services to the enterprises. So we definitely want to disrupt that market, and privileged access management, which is a very big issue for the enterprises. We're going to definitely ease that particular burden. We want to be GDPR compliant so that companies can use our solutions without any hassles. And definitely COVID is going to be giving us a push, gaining access to the market. Our use cases involve private network-based security, involving remote access routers, secure file sharing, private email chat streaming, remote monitoring, and cameras and private backups. Thank you for watching.
Santosh, you want to go first?
Yeah. Basically, Puneet, I have a few questions. So you mentioned you're using Dockers, etc., right, for your platform. So where is it hosted? Is it
On
on a
AWS.
cloud? AWS. Huh? Okay.
It can also be run on-prem. If you have got your own server, you are not trusting AWS or Google Cloud for a reason, you can definitely run it on your own systems on-prem as well.
Okay. And then I saw that you're using blockchain. So blockchain is basically used to authenticate people onto your network, right? So you're ensuring your network is protected at home or something, or only authenticated users are getting.
MetaMask authentication, that's definitely there for authenticating user, but it's also on our backend. We'll basically have a global list of all the domains, and we are basically collecting with a community-based voting, and they all vote that this particular website is a malware or a threat, and that's a browser extension. So once we collect all that information, because we are, as a startup, we don't have like those global lists like Norton or any other big company has. So we are creating a community-based list, a global access or deny list, and that will be used by our firewall at the back end.
Okay. And you seem to be using some kind of proxy, right? Are they open source, or your proxy and firewall and everything that you're using?
The protocol is open source, which is WireGuard, and another protocol for the firewall is Firehole. But what we have done is kind of automated the whole process. So usually what it takes is if you want to set up an enterprise VPN, you have to contact Juniper Networks, or maybe you'll have to like get into calls with tech, then you have to have a sales call, and then it might take weeks, if not days, if not months, to set up your corporate VPN. And this is because it's all managed. There are like a lot of loose nuts and bolts, and that's what we have integrated in a seamless network platform where within one click. So if I want to add you as one of the parties in the team or in my company or even in my home, like let's say you are going to be accessing my network, it's going to be within clicks rather than configuring each of them in silos.
Okay. No, the reason I asked the question is there any open source licensing requirements, right? So since you're selling.
We have forked open source tools and tweaked it for our own purposes, because a lot of tools they are providing is not very much needed by small companies or even medium companies. I mean, unless you've got a workforce of like 2,000 to 4,000 people, I don't think you'll be really using those tools. I mean, we are very much lean and stripped down version of all those big tools so that we can fit the growing needs of APAC region.
Got it. And how do you deal with encrypted traffic?
I'm sorry?
Encrypted traffic. If somebody's doing HTTPS, are you able to catch them? And because you're doing website filtering, right?
Yeah, for that we would be needing to work with internet service providers, the ISP level, and they use not even HTTPS, they use deep packet inspection. That's what China does for their own firewall. Of course, that India is a democratic country, and we don't want to invade on people's privacy, so we don't want to break that or even log that particular traffic. So we want to basically encrypt your browsing experience rather than we don't want to like disclose what you're doing online.
Got it. What is your target market? Is it the personal market, or is it, because I see a combination of things at the final slide, right? You're targeting corporates and smaller businesses, and then you have personal firewall. So what is your target market?
Sure. So if you see that the market, sorry if you've been seeing the presentation, yeah, we are basically targeting APAC region because our team is currently based out of India, and we have been speaking with certain. We have figured out industries. So in India, healthcare is one where there is a lack in cybersecurity implementation, and education is another. You might have seen many reports like COVID data was available. The entire backend was available for some time on Google search. I mean, people were able to get the other details. This shouldn't be happening. I mean, we have like a billion people, and then if these things are happening, I mean, it's going to be a very much risk for identity theft as well at a later point of time. And education is something that is very much affected because now everything is coming online, and there have been cases of Zoom bombing. We spoke with one of the schools in Bangalore, and they had this issue, but our deal fell off because they wanted to integrate us open source streaming solution like Jitsi or something. So even if you've got the meeting ID, even if you've got the meeting link, you would not be able to join the network because you're not part of the team.
So what is your business model, right?
It's
so subscription based?
Yeah.
Do you have
If you use cloud, then you pay us a little bit extra. If you have got your own prem, you only pay for our license.
Okay. So do you have to put anything on-prem in terms of a hardware device or something? Or?
We are completely on cloud, unless you've got a specific requirement, like if you're from defense or if you have like very safe, secure data, and then we might have to work with you to buy your in-prem devices, understand your exact need, and that will be like taking a little bit longer, and we are focusing not right now on that.
Okay. So I think there was one question on your break-even, right? So have you made any investments, and what is your break-even?
So yeah, I mean, we are right now in pilot with one of the companies in Shenzhen. They are basically using, they basically want completely to isolate their own devices from firewall. So they're moving their businesses offshore Hong Kong, and we're helping them set up that. So we are trying to understand that, but we are not helping them with firewall or VPN. We are helping them with Lazarus tunnel, which is basically accessing devices behind the firewall. So what we see is like the managed services market is kind of very heavy to get in. So we are working with clients, those we have worked with in the past. And second thing is what we are trying to gain access to is the spaces where we are will be like easy to get on, like in healthcare and in education sector we are speaking with. Also, we are in talks with MMM, Mobile Marketing Association, who are based out of APAC region, to incorporate the NetGuard solution to understand the network traffic from China, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore, and even in India. So we basically want to create a global list of all those unsafe online activity that basically have, and how can we like block them on, even if you're not using a VPN, how can we make your browser experience better?
Good. I'm done.
Yes, we're running out of time.
Okay, thank you. I think you've covered most of it.
Yes. Thank you, Sachendra. Thank you for presenting. Thank you for being a part.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You may leave the room now. And jury, can we have this course? So the next thing is ready. Just let me know when we're good to go.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, should be good.
Yeah. Puneet, can we have the next team? The next team is Neo Techies. Also, just before starting, Puneet, just play the video. Means I can see it 6 minutes. Just play it till 4. Means let's be equal to everybody.
And with me is my teammate Avinash Kumar. So our project is like blockchain-based supply management system for movement of goods. So nowadays, you know, like a lot of like tender happens and there is supply chain between manufacturer and distributor. So we are automating it over to the blockchain. So now let's have a look at the tech stack. So we are using IPFS network, a decentralized storage network for storing the files and all other documents. We are using Ethereum network as our main blockchain network for our whole deployment. We are using Angular as a front-end library, Node.js and Express.js as a backend, and using Flask as for the API development on the Python. So now coming to the how we are implementing this. So we will be making a dApp on the Ethereum blockchain network. We will be writing Solidity for that, and then we have a like IPFS connected to our dApp, which would be storing all the files and creating unique hashes for the documents. Then our dApp would be connected to the blockchain network using web3.js. And then coming to the like parsing functions, we would be using Python for some parsing of the documents and the approvals that are uploaded. Then coming to the Node and Angular part, it is used as a backend and front end. And now at last, we are using Matic Plasma sidechain with proof of stake security for improving the transaction speed of the blockchain network. So now let's have a look on the demo. So now this is our blockchain portal, that is a supply chain management. You can see we have a login system here, but as like time constraint is there, we would be directly showing you like what will happen. For example, I would first login with the retailer, and for example, I need some product like ABC product from the from the distributor, and order ID you can set even to. I need what is the date for shipment, what is the temperature, what is the price. So I would be implementing all these things, and then I will submit the quantity and all those things. A unique transaction ID would be created over to the blockchain network that would be sent to the distributor. So now coming to the distributor part, you can see like I have received new order, received P132, that what is sent. If for example the distributor has all the goods, then he can send the shipment along with the report and all the invoice. But for example, if he does not have and he needs some amount, so then he will ask the manufacturer for it. So it will now go to the manufacturer for the shipment. You can see I have manufactured. You can see P132 order received. Now, for example, there is supplier also after this, but for example, manufacturer has all the things required. So now it will upload the invoice and all that whole document. You can see a unique hash is generated. It is the IPFS hash. Now he will send the shipment. Shipment is sent. So you can see now that this shipment will go to the distributor and along with the report that was sent. So if you see the distributor part, you can see 3132 order number download report. He can download the report from here. And now he can send the shipment to the supplier that he asked for from here, like what was the product name and temperature and all those things. So this is the thing that we can do, and here is the whole process. Now I will show you like another part is that the unique hash is generated. I can only, this is the unique hash that is in the backend that you have seen initially. Now if you go to this network IPFS IO.IPFS network, you can see that document here. This is the part. So now I will show you like what after this generation, for example, the supplier don't have the goods, then we need a tendering process. We have created the blockchain tendering process for that. So now let's go to that point and see how the bidders have to sign up. So I have already signed up for this, so now I will log in to the supplier. So as soon as I have logged in. So I have already created some tenders, so I will create a new tender. Let's name this tender as anything I will fill here. I will fill this number, anything, registration ID. Either type true means the tender is open, false means the tender is closed. So let's put this first. So as soon as I have added all the things, now I will add the tender. So this is a MetaMask transaction. It is deployed on the Hopstone test network. So as I approve, so it is an asynchronous task. We can create more tenders at the same time, and we can go through all these things. So this is the e-procurement system why blockchain is needed. We have written all those compatibilities. So our transaction is confirmed. Now if you see like here we have at REHACK Jaipur. So if I go on this, so I can see the details and I can close the tender, and there's a tender document for the same. Just fetched, there's an OCR working at the backend which will fetch the details from the details we entered and the bidders that we approved. And based on a Microsoft Azure deployed model, we can fetch the details from. So now we can have a login. Now I can sign up as a bidder. So let's sign up as a bidder for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as soon as I register, I have to give the details. So I will give the details as company name, company registration, visitor type, new building, and number, this is legal details. We can fill the right data also. So as soon as I complete it, I am registered. So now there was some, yeah. So as I have got a transaction, so there was some wrong information put. That's why the transaction was not happening. So it's again the transaction is happening. You can see in the MetaMask like transaction is pending. It's on Hopstone test network. So as soon as we are registered, we can then bid for the tender. Like so I can bid for this tender. So this is the tender. So I will bid for this. Like I will put the amount. I agree to the terms and make the bid. So this is done. The bidding is done. And now I will log out. I can again register as a new member and I can bid for this. If you want to see what is happening on the bidder side, like I can then close the tender to get the details of all the things. So like I can close the tender. As soon as I close the tender is closed, random status, they will get the email on the specified email they have provided, the mail about the tendering process. All this was about a project management system. It can be further improved and can be made for all the business types.
Okay, just conscious of time. What stage are you with your solution? Have you already launched into the market? Have you got early clients?
No, sir. At present, it is in the prototype stage. So, like, we are like 80% completed with the product. But now we are working on like configuring the like those barcode scanners to our system, so that all the products that are like being shipped can be scanned and then can be transferred automatically to our blockchain system. We will be integrating that barcode scanner with this system, with our portal, so that it can directly be going to the blockchain, and then it can be verified automatically in the Solidity contracts.
There are quite a few solutions in that space using blockchain for end-to-end supply chain, transparency and visibility. How do you differentiate in the market?
So basically, sir, like if you see the present system that is non-digital, so we have to go for the bidding, and the manufacturers and suppliers went to each other for sending goods, and they have a lot of paperwork to be done. So later on, there are chances like someone denies, or there is some fake signatures, or anything can happen in this process. So now coming to the digital part, if we come to the digital, there are some digital solutions there, but looking on those digital solutions do not provide trust, because there are chances of any manipulation in the middleman, because if there is no foolproof track system in the digital system, then there can be chances like the website holders, or the company managers, or the developers can create some problem in that digital system, and by that chance there can be that they may change the things in that space. But coming to the blockchain solution, we are providing it to the Ethereum blockchain system. So all the developer things are being deployed on the blockchain network. So there are no options that any developer or anything can manipulate those things. There would be consensus, and there would be a decentralized organization to cover all these things. And moreover, we are also using IPFS. There are some blockchain solutions, but that do not use decentralized file system. So we are using decentralized file system for deploying our website, for deploying our solution, and also for storing all the data. So it's totally no one can change that part or manipulate in other sense, and everything can be seen how it is going in the blockchain space. There is a central monitoring there.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few blockchain solutions as well. So I'll pass it to Santosh if you had any final question.
Yeah. So what one of the challenges with blockchain is all your vendor ecosystem has to embrace blockchain, right? So how do you manage to that? Because
there is a question blockchain is not easily understandable to the people. So if you can see on our portal, there is simple login system. So there is one click, the way they in India there is GST system. So people have to write the things on the portal, how much they have earned, how much they have done. So same way here also they have just they have to input those details, this is the amount, this is the temperature that was the product temperature, and they just have to only click one button. Everything is in the backend. We are charging them with subscription fee, so we will take care of the transaction fee that is happening in the backend. So there is they don't have to understand all those MetaMask and all those things to operate on this portal.
Okay, got it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, team. Thank you. You may leave the room now. And juries, can we have this course for neo techies?
Just a quick feedback. I think that was a recorded video, and that speed of conversation was rocket science for me. I thought my Indian English was bad, but that thing blew me away. So if you can request the subsequent guys to be a bit more clarity, have some clarity in their thought, it will be useful. Otherwise, they're losing their 3 minutes.
Sure, convey it to for the team.
And sorry, that's with no offense to anybody's English or dialect of speech. I am also improving on a daily basis. My daughter tells me I don't speak Australian English.
Okay, if we are good to go, then the next team is with us. First, can we have the video?
This is Team Segment, and its members are Aruneshwari, Ranganayaki, Mansi, and Shaktipriya from Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, Coimbatore, India. We aim to instill a sense of confidence in the dementia patients who feel helpless without the assistance of their caretakers in this pandemic outbreak. Here are the tech stacks that we've used. Flutter. It has increased time to market speed. It is a development framework that functions quicker than its alternatives. It's open source and is also used for developing both iOS and Android apps. Firebase. It allows syncing the real-time data across all the devices, Android, iOS, and the web without refreshing the screen. And Arduino. The Arduino IDE is a cross-platform application that is written in functions from C and C++. It is compatible with vendor development boards, and it's also open source. Vuforia. The key advantage of Vuforia is that it can be used for iOS, Windows, and Android devices. Idea and implementation. Our product WellBe and the SmartBand helps in assisting early-stage dementia patients. The mobile app WellBe has two user interfaces, one for the patient and the other for the caretaker. Wristband has sensors to focus on health monitoring, then has actuators, LED, and SOS feature. Notifications pop up whenever the patients receive vibrations from the band. We use AR to give them guidance in following instructions. Our USP is instilling a sense of independence in patients and enabling remote monitoring for caretakers. Let's move to the demo part. The caretaker can assign a set of activities to be done by the patients in his UI and set reminders. These tasks get updated in the patient's interface, where the patient can view the assigned tasks. Now, this is the caretaker's interface, and this is the patient's interface. When the patient steps out of his or her house, the caretaker can see that in his interface and could also set a geofence for the patient. The patient finds a set of instructions about sanitizing, wearing mask, and following social distancing norms. When the patient crosses the geofence set by the caretaker and the patient will immediately receive a notification. The smartband vibrates gently and the LED glows, triggering the patient to see his mobile to understand what has gone wrong. When the patient experiences a panic attack, the spike in his pulse rate will alert the caretaker. The caretaker can play songs to the patients to make use of the powerful nostalgic element to calm the patient down. The patient's app has the refreshment feature too. The LED in the band glows, which alerts the patient to check his mobile. The band has a SOS button, which, when pressed by the patient, would connect him with the caretaker right away. The call option is also available in the patient's UI. When at home, the patients are reminded to wash their hands frequently. Making use of augmented reality and image detection, simple instructions are played as videos to guide the patients. This instruction is played as a video when the respective image is identified. The smartband consists of a microcontroller, GPS module, GSM module, heart rate sensor, micro vibration actuators, SOS button, and LEDs. We have been a part of Cisco's Incubator for the last 6 months, and the industrial exposure this has provided us with has helped us come up with a stellar business model. We plan to roll out our products in clinics as well as nursing homes where caretakers struggle to cater to multiple patients. In fact, such talks are already underway. Then, through advertisements, we aim to expand our customer base globally, with our unique selling proposition being the sense of self-confidence that our product brings to the patient's life. Along with enabling the caretaker with remote monitoring, our product appeals to the emotional intellect of the customer and is bound to succeed.
Is the team available to speak up? Can you give us your elevator pitch? Because I know I heard you guys yesterday. What is the problem statement and the opportunity you are trying to address? You went into the technical, stack straight away. So I think for the jury as well, if you can give your 1 minute elevator pitch just to set the scene, what is the problem statement and opportunity you're trying to address? Mansi, you're on mute. You're on mute, Mansi.
Yeah. Okay. We at Team Subpay strongly believe that dementia is not a condition that's strong enough to overpower every aspect of the patient's life. So we aim at the emotional intellect of the customer here by instilling a sense of confidence in the patient. He doesn't have to depend on the caretaker for everything. And this is something that our past competitors have never targeted. All the products that are available in the market today, they target the bond between caretaker and patient in such a way that the caretaker should always be available with the patient. And during these pandemic times with the travel restrictions and the lockdown, this has not been possible, and it has been a major problem for a lot of these patients. So that is what we're targeting, to help the caretaker remotely monitor the vitals of the patient and help them from a remote place, and also to help the patient carry on their activities normally.
So this is obviously the whole dementia, patient segment that you're targeting, and also the aged care segment, which is a huge, space here in Australia as well, and a area of concern, and where you're enabling the patients to have a lot more engaged experience through your solution, but also to connect them with the hospital network as required.
Yes.
What stage are you currently with your product?
We're in the prototyping stage. We are working on our hardware. So we have worked out our application almost up to 90%. We're still working on the hardware to get all the modules work perfectly in sync.
Thanks, Mansi. Can I ask you a question? I was just wondering, it struck me as obvious that this would be a great app that you could sync across your Apple Watch and iPhone, etc. Just then, but with the images of the hardware, trying to understand why would it need a separate standalone hardware rather than just leverage existing devices?
Yes, sir. Thank you for your question. So when we went out and when we were doing our research, we also thought of this question: when there's so many smartwatches available in the market, why would a patient want to use something that we are providing? Well, the answer is these watches, they're too complex for a person who's using them for the first time itself, be it a cognitively impaired person or someone as new as me, or someone as healthy as you and I. Like, you need to get adapted to what this technology is, and that is a steep learning curve for someone who is already struggling with their mental health. So we provide something which is very simple to use. It has very few modules, and if you had seen in our video, we are providing them only with one button, that is the SOS button, which is only used in an emergency situation. Other than that, if they want the feedback from the band, it's through vibrations and LEDs and nothing else. That's too complicated for them to understand, because technology, while it's helping them, can also be a negative impact for these patients, because it can agitate them even more and trigger more panic attacks.
Yeah, makes sense. Thanks for the answer.
Mansi, I got a quick question and more of feedback. It's a fabulous product, a concept that is there. Besides dementia, there is applicability into national disability that they call out here for the elderly. There is applicability to the post-trauma stress. And the key word you used was mental health. Given what's happening globally with the pandemic, there's going to be massive amount of... Is it something that can be easily, going with Andy's question, something that can be downloaded onto phones so that people can reach out to institutions who provide mental health at the hit of a button? Because there is a lot of the suicide tendencies that are coming. People are getting into domestic violence. It's happening in India. In Australia, it's gone up manifold times. So is it something that can be easily applied, and how soon?
Yes, so of course. So our feature that uses music to bring a sense of calm in the patient when they're experiencing a panic attack. Such features can be modified to accommodate a lot more use cases. Like if you know your loved one is stuck somewhere else in the lockdown and he's alone, you can use something like this to connect with them. And of course, for mental health patients, it can be broadly used, this app. And at the hit of the button, you said it'll be so instantaneous, because we are narrowing down the applications. We are only focusing on one thing at a time. So it'll be really fast because we're focusing on one use case.
Sorry, thanks. I think there is plenty of applicability, especially I don't want to jump into Tim's domain out here of hospitals, but if a hub and spoke wheel concept is created, there could be a network of agencies who could be the first responders to a variety of people with different issues who have these apps over there. Good one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mansi, I got a question. Yeah, it's a great product, quite intriguing as well. So the question, I'm sure you have thought about it, but if not, I wanted to just ask, one, if the wearer is removing that, will the caretaker be, sort of indicated about it at some
Yes.
point?
Yeah. Okay. So we talked about the pulse sensor on the band. So that automatically stops sending, obviously it stops working when it's not on the body of the wearer. So that will notify the caretaker immediately, and he can maybe call or take some other actions to notify the patient about wearing the band. And also we have a Bluetooth module on the band, which will alert the patient as well. So if he's taking his phone but he's not wearing the band and he's stepping out, so the phone will ring and it'll notify that the Bluetooth range of the band has been exceeded. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
So apart from the notification, the wearable device and the caretaker cannot communicate. So it's only through the notifications. They have to pick up their phone to have a voice over communication.
Yes, the caretaker.
Okay, what is it priced at? What are you thinking about pricing it around?
The production cost came around 2,000. So we're planning to start off at 2.5K INR. That's about 12.5% profit margin.
Okay, it's a good concept, very good product.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mansi. Yeah.
Thank you, Mansi. Thank you. Thank you for presenting.
And welcome, Phil Baji, joining us as well from Sydney, who's part of Sydney Angels, Australian Computer Society, and quite a veteran with the startup ecosystem. Welcome, Phil. Thank you for joining on board.
Thanks, Mike. I've been watching on YouTube, so I have been seeing it all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Meanwhile, can we have the scores, jury, for the previous team? Also, we have the next team with us. It is the Tangerine.
So is it possible that the video be played on the full volume on YouTube?
Yes, we're doing that. So let's see. Kaushik, can we have the video?
There are 17 key points that are detected by the PostNet software, which are using the video feed to detect and analyze if the exercises we are doing are correct or not. It is an AI-powered solution that can work without the internet connection as well, and hence there will be no security flaws involving the transfer of video from the hardware to the servers. Right now, we have our model trained on two exercises, one for a normal workout session and another for specially designed for a pregnant lady, which have exercises that are good for them as well as uh, their little ones. For our business model, a few basic exercises for the workout plans will be given free for all, and the subscriptions will enable the users to have access to multiple complex exercises. Also, the subscriptions will be kept at a price close to the professional gym memberships in order to generate a good revenue with satisfied customer base. This module is a special integration for people who want to have a calm meditation session with some soft music playing in the background. This feature is available for all, but the subscription will make the user eligible for an easy headset home delivery. This would assist him or her to professionally analyze their meditation sessions and have a more profound experience. The Wellness Center subscription gives access to a personalized experience of consultation with doctors with an option of keeping your identity anonymous, such that the users can get consultation without being reluctant to give personal information. Fit module is a basic diet recommender that would suggest the meal based on the custom ingredients the user provides. It will be available for all for free, but the subscribers will be eligible to get a custom meal suggestion according to the exercise he or she has opted for most recently.
Okay. Thank you, team Tangerine there. Could you give us your 1 minute elevator pitch?
Yes, sure. So we are a team of 4 individuals, BTech undergrads with specialty in robotics, AI, IoT, and image processing. So for our product, we noticed that few reports said that 60% of the people set fitness goals but are unable to complete them and give up within 2 months. So having a training partner with the help helps them with accountability, motivation. Through Transient.fit, a social fitness app, we will provide the needed procedure and help people achieve their goals with the help of AI. Taking advantage of this unprecedented times, we plan to launch a complete healthcare solution that would cater the needs of the requirement of the user. Our goal will be to expand our customer base to massive numbers and have them taste the power of AI. This will generate the credibility and trust with our services. For this hackathon, we will present only 4 modules. That will be fit.ai, as you saw in the demos, dhyan.ai, food.ai, and wellbeing.ai. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, there are quite a few competitors in the market. I mean, Healthify is one which has really emerged quite a bit from India, Singapore, Asia Pacific, and also now into Australia. How do you differentiate? And they're also using a bit of AI, I believe.
So healthy snacking, if we see, it tracks the daily calorie and that stuff. What our solution is doing, it is using AI. It is using, if I go into technical details, it is using PostNet, which maps 17 key points, and with the help of that, we can guide the person if he is doing the exercise right or not. What happens in today time? We go to the gym and trainer tells if you are doing right or no, right or wrong. That would be done with the help of just a webcam. Healthify Me doesn't provide things like this. We are trying to create a whole ecosystem. We are trying that the customer should be on one platform. So we are trying to integrate everything in our module.
So for the other products, you would require internet connections, but that increases the chances of security flaws. For our purposes, everything is happening locally in your device. So even without internet connections, you can perform the exercises. And for future models, we can actually analyze the live data of a trainer that could be mapped to the trainees that are being trained, and we can actually compare live how the exercises are being copied. So even on a video call, the trainers are unable to judge everyone. So if I have 5 people getting trained under me, so a trainer cannot do everything on a video call. They cannot see each and every one. So with the help of our AI system, the person who is doing the exercise incorrectly can be given more priority, and it can be put into the notice of the instructor.
So how do you plan to price this?
So talking about the revenue model, can I share my screen?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. You can share your.
Yes, sir. It's in the process. So is my screen visible?
Yeah.
So the revenue, so we have actually 4 modules, and every module has a unique selling point, and every module is capable. So, but if I sum up my revenue model in 3 things, it's cross-selling, subscription model, and service-based. And if I talk about each individual model, if fit.ai, the workout model, it could be priced at rupees 1,500 per month. Food.fit, which includes 2 things: one tracking your daily calorie, and other is getting customized food according to your workout, according to your ingredients available at home. So that's around rupees 500 per month. Wellbeing.fit was you can consult a doctor 24/7. So we plan to charge 15% of the doctor consultant fee. And the 4th module was Dhyan.ai. So its one-time cost will be 8,500 that the EEG device will cost. It's for premium users, I think, and after that it's rupees 200 per month. So total it's around for a user it's around 26,400 per annum. So this is basically our revenue model. It's it's a subscription model.
It just seems to be on the higher end for a middle class family, right?
So the point is, of somebody who can have this pay this premium can opt for each and every service. So even if I want a certain segment of the my application, so we will have the user can opt for only that segment. So that will be not very costly.
If the user want to just opt for the food.fit, it's rupees 500 per month. It's the optimum thing we are considering, that if the user is only using our platform. If we go around in gyms also in India, the cost is around 2,000 per month. The gyms nearby my area is around 2,000 per month.
So the cost is something that can be worked upon. So we just prepared this at the prototypes a few days ago. So we are still in the process of evaluating what the actual cost can be, or we can always come up with few innovative ideas that could reduce the costs.
Okay.
We have hosted our website if you want to try out. It's shared in the chat.
Like.
Thank you.
Thank you, team. You stop sharing the screen and jury members and have these goals for the same. Both and team, you can have the stream on YouTube. You may leave the room now.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Jury members, we are ready with the last team of the day. Just let me know when we are good to go.
Thank you. Yeah.
I thought we've got two teams, Sahasra and Virginio. Or am I seeing one extra?
No, this is the last team. I have sent in the chat.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Kaushik, can we have the video?
I am Yash, co-founder of subpay. Currently, I'm pursuing my BTech from Galgodia's University, and I handle marketing and operations for my team.
Hi everyone, this is Shubham Rawal, currently pursuing my BTech Computer Science from Galgodia's University. I'm the co-founder and CEO of subpay. I handle product development and strategy.
Hi, I'm Sakshi Jain. I'm the lead developer at subpay Technologies. Currently, I'm pursuing BTech in Computer Science at Galgodia's University.
Let's get started.
We here at subpay Technology are using best and the latest technological stack available. Vue.js and Bootstrap for the web, Android Studio SDK and Core Java for the app. Also for the backend data flow, it is GCP console and cloud functions, which uses algorithm to detect any temperament and make the transaction invalid. For the blockchain, we are using Microsoft Azure. Every transaction is secured and is regulated by PCI DSS protocol with SHA-256 encryption. The biometric-enabled payment is done in hash sequences with SHA-256 encryption. When locally authenticated, a hash sequence is generated, which is searched on the server for fast and secure authentication and transaction.
We plan to allow anyone to access any of the online services with one ID, your biometric. You could pay, access documents, show your ID, buy biometric tickets, completely be independent of the physical world. All this by just being a part of subpay. Any device with our application is a limit to your reach. This is a very broad vision, and hence we started with implementing biometric-enabled payment terminal. We have already made a biometric payment model, and it is getting integrated and tested as we speak. Our first phase 1 started in the first week of August, where we had 100 users from one gated community. Phase 2, after some iterations, we plan to scale up to 5 gated communities with 500 users. Phase 3 will be in the first month of the year 2021, where we target 12 gated communities with 1 food court. As soon as we're done testing a better application, we plan to go knocking doors of big campus universities and allow students to avail all their services through biometrics. Our prime target will be card-based systems. After we have settled down in the market, we plan to make our next module for a platform to allow more biometric services.
Here's a login screen. We are verifying number with OTP. And all this information is securely stored on our blockchain network. So it's going to get tempered. Here is the dashboard and the welcome tour. We can say that guides users to how to use subpay. And then we move to payment screen. And here we can demonstrate that you can select one or many users at. So this one is, we say it as off pay or offline payments. You can see that there is no Wi-Fi or any data coverage active right now, and you can see that these two phones are searching locally, and now they got connected, and you can see that you can type amount and just click on pay, and when you pay, that the amount from Sakijan got deducted and got credited into another account. So this is a demonstration of a biometric infrastructure. What currently happening is one of our team member is currently enrolling a new user by entering his phone number and then asking for an OTP and then reading his biometric now the biometric got assigned with his phone number, and now he can pay with just with his fingerprint only. He don't need anything to pay it. So here is a quick glimpse of our inventory management system. So here is a inventory, and my teammate just make it a good order and do it a checkout. And now here is a merchant app, and you can see now that their order listing that we have currently buy.
Subpay today provides two services. The first one is a biometric payment terminal, which is completely based on a commission revenue based model. The second one is a machine learning enabled inventory management system that allows our merchant to go online in 10 minutes. This system is based on a subscription revenue based model. Thank you. It was an honor presenting Subpay to you.
James, you want to?
I think very interesting. Thank you. My question would be, where is the advantage of a biometric system versus a device-based payment system? So with a watch, smartwatch, or a smartphone, what is the advantage of including fingerprint biometric data?
So the whole point is that we have, so phones and devices like PCs, computers are tools to access online services. But today we are becoming completely dependent on it. It has become a basic need, which wasn't supposed to be. But your biometric is on you. So when you are paying, you need your phone. What if your phone battery is out? Or what if this person doesn't accept something? You just need your biometric now to prove your identification, to access your documents, to pay, to prove your ID. You need your license. You don't have it, you have to pay a fine. But now you could just open subpay on anyone's devices. Your biometric is a single point access, and you can access all of that.
Thank you.
Can I just confirm? So the intention would be to primarily sell a POS device. So a merchant would plug it in, a bit like Square, little small tab into their iPad or iPhone, and then you just leave a fingerprint on that little POS. Is that correct?
Yes, that's the plan.
Yeah. Okay. So you'd replicate a good portion of the Square type model in terms of sell like, device, and then on the back end you have the processing merchant and other fees.
Yes, so same way. Like we use cards, right? We plan to replace that for starters and settle down in the market so that we gain the trust, and then we can go on with document handling and other things where they require more trust and authentication. So we get time to research and develop our structure to a more secured level. So that's how we went to this side of the market, because we could easily handle the variables because it's well known to us. And we started with closed systems, like a more controlled system like complexes, where I stay in Mumbai. I stay in a place where there are 15 buildings around a market area. So it's easier to handle because there'll be only regular customers, and it'll be easier to track the movements. And if any collateral damage had to happen, we could control it.
It's sort of Arji. Can I just ask a supplementary question to that? Are you storing all the biometric particulars in the cloud? And how happy will people be to have their biometrics stored in the cloud? And where will it be stored?
I would like Shubham to answer this because he's well versed with the technical parts.
Yeah, hello everyone. Am I able to hear you all? Yeah, so what we are doing right now is we are generating a hash sequence for a biometric. Let's say you go to a shop and you just place your finger on a machine. Our app generate a hash sequence and then authenticate that hash sequence to a blockchain network. So we aren't storing a whole portion of your biometric. We are just storing a particular hash sequence, and we are calling always when you try to authenticate it.
But when I enroll in the system, presumably you're storing my biometric somewhere to later compare.
Yeah, so really good question. So we aren't storing anything on our system. We are just storing a hash sequence. Let's say you enroll for the first time, our app generate a particular hash sequence for your biometric, and that particular hash sequence got stored in our cloud systems or in our blockchain wallet.
So that means every device, every different device, you assume will generate the same hash from the same biometric.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So one question, and how do you transfer money into and out of those wallets?
So do you mean by biometric or as a normal wallet? So it does work like a normal wallet, but when you're talking about biometric, so as Andy sir pointed out that we are planning to become a POS. So same way when you go to a shop and you buy like a water bottle and a milk packet, and the bill is like 50 rupees. All the payment, only the merchant guy is gonna be like 50 rupees. The bill is ready. How you gonna pay? And then you say subpay biometric. All you have to do is tap your finger, and you're done. So that's the plan. So you get unlimited reach on the subway platform. Wherever we are there, you could use money and any other facilities without device.
But where is the money going to come from, right? So where are you going to?
Where am I from?
No, where are you going to load the money from?
Sorry, your voice wasn't audible, sir. Where am I going to?
Irfan, can you mute?
Yeah, okay. Now, where do you add money into the system, right? So somewhere the subscriber.
So we have a wallet too. Like we have already the wallet you saw on the UI demonstration we were showing, the off pay. So we have an application where you have all the features like group pay. So you could a group of people could pay one guy, and then there's one to many where one guy could pay a lot of people at once with different amount, and then there's off pay. So that is on a subpay wallet based application. So we do have a wallet where you can add money and you could use that through biometric anywhere.
Okay.
And now a lot of people might think biometric is scary, and what if somebody puts a gun on your face and asks you to use money, and all that questions are going to come up. So we have also come up with our own security features, like when you register on a system, you register two biometrics. One is to disable and one is to enable the wallet. When you disable it, it won't be directly seen to anyone, and it could be your left or right finger, anything, right? So it is not directly seen to anyone, and then you raise an alert to the system, and then we can take care of the rest of the things later.
Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vivek. Thank you for presenting.
Is that all? No more questions?
Yes.
Thank you
for having us. It was an honor presenting again. Please have a
Thank
nice
you.
day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you.
you. Dr. Ramanan, yeah, great. Thank you. All right. Namaskar. Greetings from Australia, Sydney, Australia. Again, great to reconnect back with you all as part of the grand finale of this REHACK hackathon, which has been curated as part of Australia-India Innovation Bridge. And again, welcome again, all of you back for listening. All the participants are also welcome, and thank again all the jury panelists who've been with us right through this journey, and some of them through the last couple of days as well, as part of the mentorship panel as well. It's been a phenomenal journey, over the last 6 to 8 weeks, working alongside with our partner, ecosystem partner in India, T-Hub Hyderabad, Ravi and your team, thank you. And also working along with IncubateIND, Rohit, Samkit and team. Phenomenal effort from you guys to coordinate and pull this all together, right from promoting to then going through various phases. Over the last 6 to 8 weeks, we had representation with more than 360 plus registration, 200 plus ideas, more than 180 plus educational institutions, various startups, 100 plus startups, and various across quite a few countries represented. And over the period, it's been quite intensely curated program to shortlist the top 100 and the top 50, and then the 39 who went into the hackathon session. Yesterday, the hack days, yesterday and today, covering the 5 themes or problem statement areas that we had curated, all with a view that these are the challenges we face during COVID times across globally, definitely in Australia and India. And we were looking at solutions which we would consider to take it forward to preempt and also support, any situation that may arise later, and how, across board, both the ecosystem we can support, and and looking at ideas that we would love to accelerate between the ecosystem. So I'm glad that we are in the grand finale and the last session of this hackathon, and I thank and appreciate all efforts of everyone who's been involved. On that note, I would like to invite Ravi, the CEO of T-Hub Hyderabad. Thank you, Ravi, again for your support from your team. Any quick thoughts about that you want to share about the Australia-India Innovation Bridge and the journey we've kicked off with the webinar series and the hackathon?
Well, I was with you yesterday, and I can see the enthusiasm continues to be as high and as infectious as it was yesterday morning when I saw the kickoff of this hackathon. I can understand that there is a lot of enthusiasm to create some very interesting solutions to very, very important problems that we are facing, not just in India, but in Australia, to really bring the best of the minds together and creating these kinds of solutions, not just for each of our countries, but maybe for the global markets, I think is definitely a very, very important thing that we are doing. And I guess this is just the beginning of the journey, right? I mean, there's so much more we need to do. We just wanted to get this bridge activated in a much more concerted way. And I think this is the beginning. And I would love to see, what the next steps are. Irfan, you're our fearless leader. You're gonna make this thing happen. Waiting to hear what the next steps are. Yep.
Thank you, Ravi, and thanks for the support from you and your team. On that note, I would love to invite our special guest and also, someone who's been a strong support for the whole Australia-India Innovation Bridge, and also a strong support from the Indian government, NITI Aayog agency, representing Atal Innovation Mission, our mission director, Dr. Ramanan. Welcome, Dr. Ramanan, and thank you. And we would love to hear from you, your support and your vision on this Australia-India Innovation Bridge.
Thank you, Irfan, and good evening to everybody who is on this call, and good evening, Ravi. It's great to see you all again, and First of all, I want to compliment you, Irfan, T-Hub, and all the others who have been involved in initiating this event, this competition and this challenge. And I think when I look at the 5 themes that you have selected, health and wellness, education and communications, global payments, supply chain management, and global cybersecurity. Now, all of these are indeed very relevant themes, not only in India, but also in the rest of the world, and I'm sure in Australia too. And therefore, these themes resonate well with the trends that are going on in a post-COVID-19 world, where every one of this is so very important for us to tackle. The challenges in these. In India itself, there has been a tremendous awakening of the fact that in a post-COVID-19 world, we need to leverage technology, which is becoming affordable, accessible, advanced, and available to be able to deploy in all of these solutions. We need to be able to address huge challenges in India. Health is a great problem. You know, we have 715 districts in our country, out of which 115 are called aspirational districts. And we have still in these districts, in 115 of these districts, we have 1 in 3 infant mortality, 1 in 4 infant stunting, and 1 in 5 maternal mortality. And those are very harsh statistics that are there in our country. At the same time, 22% of our country is below the poverty line. And therefore, the importance of getting these people outside the poverty line through affordable housing, through clean drinking water and sanitation, through wellness schemes and health welfare schemes and healthcare schemes that can be made accessible to the people in the most remote parts of the country. You know, this is something that you have to focus on. And then we see that is, India is one of the fastest growing economies of the world. And it's a fast growing economy. We have 250 million people who are already middle class and emerging economy. And this middle class, which is a very sizable population as compared to any other part of the world, it's equivalent to the size of the United States. That's a growing economy. And therefore, we have what they call as a pillar of demand. And this is going to go to 500 million or so within the next several years with the initiatives being taken by the government. And so you're going to have a tremendous focus on cybersecurity, because the digital technologies, global payment systems, technology-aided commerce, all of this is going to play a very important role. And so we need solutions for all of this. And then when we talk about education, we have in our country 1.3 billion people. We have we have more than 10,500 engineering and related institutions, about 1.4 million schools, and we have 150 million young students entering into the workplace. Now, if you want to do justice to this 150 million people's potential and the capabilities that they have, we need to have education reaching across to the masses and quality education. And therefore, while there is going to be a lot of emphasis on building physical infrastructure, smart cities, and so on in the country, there's going to be an equal, if not greater, emphasis on digital highways, mobile apps being able to provide the access, education, distance learning capabilities, combined with augmented reality, virtual reality, and leveraging technology to its help. That is why we have at the Atal Innovation Mission launched thousands of tinkering labs across the country, so that our young students who are coming out from schools acquire a problem-solving, innovative mindset when they go to universities. And when they go to universities, we have world-class incubators like T-Hub and others, which are being established. More than 100 incubators have been launched by Atal Innovation Mission over the last 2 years. And these incubators are fostering 25 to 30 startups every 2 years. So we're going to have thousands of startups which are going to come out. Now, how do you make them world-class startups? By giving them world-class challenges. Because only when you give them the right challenges, and challenges which are relevant for the times, challenges which have an opportunity to be converted into an economic opportunity or into a social good, either of the two is important. And then you are able to stimulate not only the economy, but also the betterment of the country and the betterment of the world. And finally, this virus that has attacked the rest of the world, all over the world, it has created grievous loss to both lives and livelihoods, not only in India, but I think in many parts of the world. And more importantly, a simple virus has paralyzed nations. It has disrupted supply chains. It has created national lockdowns. It has created huge problems for the migrant workforce in India, where only we have 8 tier 1 cities and the rest are all tier 2, tier 3 unserved, underserved regions of the country. And they have been badly affected because of the disruption in supply chain. Now, how do you leverage technology going forward? How do you address this problem? How do you prevent the next pandemic virus, or how do you prevent the next climate change disaster from creating a similar disruption in the supply chain? And therefore, this is a very important problem to be tackled. And I'm very happy that this has been a part of one of the challenges that you have launched. So all the 5 challenges are indeed extraordinarily relevant to the times. And there are many more challenges, of course. And I also had the opportunity to hear a few of your presenters who presented the solutions. I think it is fantastic, the type of response that you have been able to evoke through this challenge. And I think enabled by the partnership that you have had with T-Hub and all the others. Atal Innovation Mission has been very proud to partner with you in this. And we are also working, as you're aware, we are working on an Indo-Australian joint hackathon, which is work in progress, and which is going to really create a tremendous amount of innovation exchange between students, the ability to know what is going on in this part of the world. How do you combine skill with scale? How do you combine the talent of both the countries, not only to be able to address opportunities in India, but across the rest of the continent, as well as the rest of the world. So I am delighted to be part of this event. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to participate in this. And it's wonderful. And my heartiest congratulations to everyone who participated in this. It is not just the winners, because I always believe that when you participate in an innovation challenge like this, you are already a winner. You're already launched yourself on an irreversible innovation journey, because the innovation journey is such an exciting journey. Been there, done that, you cannot go back to just the standard stuff of doing something which somebody is asking you to do. You want to create, you want to innovate, you want to give your creative potential its full ability to blossom. And once you're on that journey, then there's no looking back. So all of you are already winners by participating in this. Of course, some of you may get recognized, but I would say in an innovator's world, there is no word called failure. The word fail is only the first attempt in learning, as the great Abdul Kalam, the Honorable President of India and the missile scientist of India said. And he also said, dream big, you will achieve great things. Dream small and we are limited by our own dreams. So I'm sure all the young participants, the innovators who have participated, I request you, continue to dream big. Your first attempt in learning will only be followed by more and more successes. All the very best, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Ramanan, for those inspiring and insightful words. I think there's opportunity is big, and it's great to see Australia and India collaborating at multi-levels, and innovation and startup ecosystem collaboration is the next big thing that I see. There's a lot of momentum already created, and working with your organization at the top level, at the helm, supported by Government of India, and curating some of these hackathons, it's going to be very important and will create a significant impact as well. So thank you again for all your support and support from your team as well. Thank you on that note. What I want to do is quickly recognize all the jury panelists we've had today. If I can have a quick 1 minute from all of you, just to share your thoughts, and all these jury members have also been part of our whole in the whole ecosystem support as well at various levels. So I'll really look forward to having them on board, part of the journey ongoing as well. So let me randomly invite. I'll start with Philip Aji, who joined us late, but then again a strong part of our Sydney startup innovation ecosystem. He's been with the Australian Computer Society and comes from a legal profession, one of the leading lawyers here, but also one of the most tech-savvy, innovation-savvy person I've met and I've known for a long time. And he's also representing Sydney Angels as well. Phil, any quick thoughts that you want to share?
Thanks, Irfan. Well, I think this has been a fabulous exercise, and congratulations to those who've put it all together. Coordinating all of those teams and getting them to present online was quite a significant achievement in itself. Maybe you should have an award for the putting together this whole hackathon. But they look really well done, and I love the presentations, and I love the enthusiasm of young people. You know, in this world at the moment, there's a lot of negative, but you come to something like this and you get re-enthused about the future, because these young people are really focused on making a better world for everybody. So let's hope they succeed where everybody else is trying to do the reverse. But thanks again, really an honor to participate.
Thank you, Phil, and we look forward to your continued support. Michael is the National Director of Advanced Manufacturing Growth Center, which is a pillar organization supporting, advanced manufacturing technology, supporting the ecosystem here. But also, he's an active ally and partner looking for collaboration with India in advanced manufacturing as well. So, Michael, your thoughts?
What a great opportunity, Irfan, to bring people together, as you mentioned, collaboration. And we know that in the manufacturing sector, that's a key driver for advanced manufacturing. But what we've seen here is not just people working together, but we're working across nations. And so this is the chance for us to develop new technologies, which no doubt will drive the economic recovery across our nations, to develop these new products and take them to the world. And I'd like to see the manufacturing sector of both our countries working much closer together in design and technologies that we can create to take to global markets. I'd much rather see a global audience of 7 billion potential customers for what we could develop and take to the world. So I look forward to doing much more of this with you all, and it's been a great privilege to be part of what we've seen here today. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael, and yeah, thanks for all your support. And I'm sure we'll talk more about some of the Australian startups that we are looking to forge manufacturing, alliance with India. Thank you again, Michael. Let me switch over to India. Santosh, joining us from Chennai. Thank you for coming on board. We look forward to having you on the Australia-India Innovation Bridge ongoing. You've been in the technology space overseas in the US as well as in India. Yeah, what are your thoughts that you would love to share?
Yeah, so it was an amazing session. So, and I really was impressed with all the ideas that have come from the different people who are participating, and even the younger students, right, in colleges and third year, fourth year, and they coming up with these ideas is very impressive. Fantastic organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Santosh. I would love to invite Tim, representing George Institute. As I indicated, they are one of the leading medical devices organization with a strong footprint, obviously headquartered in Sydney, in Australia, but with a strong footprint in India, and an active ally for the Australia-India Business Corridor. Tim, welcome again, and your thoughts?
No, thanks very much. Congratulations to the organisers, and particularly you for organising such a great event. Look, I'd really like to thank the teams for their time and effort. I know many of you are studying and doing other things, and you do this in your spare time, but you do it because you want to really make a difference in this world. So very supportive of the bridge in innovation between our two great countries, Australia and India. And for the teams that are successful tonight in the top 3 places, congratulations. And for those who are not, keep trying. The world really needs people like you to make a difference. So all the very best.
Thank you. Thanks, Tim. Thanks for all your support and even mentorship and guidance on some of those specific opportunities. Thank you. Mahadevan Shankar, based in Brisbane, thank you for coming on board. I know you wear multiple hats, and especially with COVID, you've been involved, being in Australia, but actively being involved with National Disaster Management Authority and the whole program there in India, and closely working with the Indian ecosystem. So, yeah, your thoughts on our vision and our Australia-India Innovation Bridge journey?
Thanks, Irfan, for having me on this. It's pretty much an honor. I don't want to repeat what the others said. It was a pretty fabulous event. What I would like to tell the youngsters is the fact that you all came shortlisted up number 10. Every one of you had something unique. It's just been a bit difficult to try and rate each one of you above the other. There is no limit to startups. It can be at any age. Some of you are undergraduates over there. So like Mr. Ramanan also mentioned, sky is the limit as far as innovation and startups in India is concerned. Having been traveled around the place, I can see from Australia also there is a lot of connection happening with India. In fact, Irfan has been kind enough to get one of his ecosystem partners to set up a website of a think tank. Now that think tank is engaging a lot between Australia and India. We managed to push through for the virtual summit between the two prime ministers of the two countries. It was something that was not thought of, but it just needed some freak idea somewhere, and someone at the highest levels picks it up. So I would just recommend that you'll just keep pushing your limits over there, and you never know when it's going to be a unicorn idea. All the best.
Thank you, Mahadevan, for your support, and look forward to working closely with you as we curate this program further. Andy, you're still around? Andy, welcome again. Andy Gardner, who's head of equities at AMP Capital here in Sydney. I know it's a bit late. He's been a great support, representing the financial services sector. There's a lot of opportunity there, especially in the regulatory tech space, insurtech space. So great to have you on board, mate. Any thoughts that you would love to share?
Yeah, thanks, Malik. I mean, I'd echo all the thanks already that have been made towards the organisers, and amazingly well done to the teams. And as you mentioned, as a global equity investor, I guess I'm always excited to see ideas come forward that are global, both in their scope and their scale. So some fantastic hacks that I've seen this evening. Really looking forward to seeing some of those hacks making it to IPO, so I can get the inside track on the next new big companies to hit the billboards. So no, it's been fantastic to be involved. So thanks to everyone.
Thank you, Andy. Appreciate that. And finally, James, you've been a strong support for us, our ecosystem, part of the core Sydney Startup Hub, and supporting, wearing multiple hats as an investor, as a mentor, advisor, and even a founder, of course, and strong advisory for InQ as well. Thank you again, and your thoughts. You've been part of this hackathon at multi-levels right through the journey, right from curation and all the mentorship as well. What are your thoughts you would share?
So my thought is to say thank you, FM, for the opportunity to be part of this. Thank you to the organizing team, having been part of many hackathons over the years and events in the COVID world where we're existing on webinars. It is not easy to run such a professional event. Congratulations and well done. To the participants, I was very impressed with the level of technical skill on display and the sheer depth of talent that was present in this hackathon was really very impressive. And I think it bodes very well for the ecosystem cooperating between India and Australia in particular. And I think there are good and bright things ahead for all of those involved. And I think that this experience for the hackathon teams in particular will stand you in good stead. And I will look forward to seeing you at future events.
Thank you, James, and thanks for your continued support, and look forward to working closely. Continue. I also want to thank and recognize Sai Sudha Chandrasekharan, who was representing Invest India, Startup India as a jury. She had to duck out. I know it's a festive occasion in India. I wish all of you in India and globally Ganesh Chaturthi or Vinayaka Jayanti, as you call, and I'm sure you would want to get back to your family and friends with the celebration and all the rituals there. So wish you all well. On that note, I think we shouldn't drag or delay the announcement of the winners. Samkit, if are we good to make the announcements? And I'm happy to go from for the announcement. Okay. All right. Thank you. Now, what a journey it's been. Obviously, right from the conceptualization and again planning with all the partners, defining the theme, really reflecting on all our experiences during this COVID challenge that we've experienced both sides in Australia, India, and globally. And put together to put that problem statement and themes identified, and then doing the launch and the reach out. We had an enormous interest, so we had to extend the dates and the registration further to allow more people to really participate. And yeah, with more than 360 plus submissions, registrations, and then through the last 3 weeks to shortlist, and then to have the final 10. And again, all of them very impactful ideas, very well differentiated ideas. Of course, at various stages, we understand, and that was again highlighted right from the beginning. Of course, there is a long way to go to commercialization and scaling, but we really wanted these ideas to be well differentiated. We had 5 themes. I know it was a tough gig for our jury to come together and get the final top 3 shortlisted and identified. I know all the themes were well represented, but definitely the healthcare segment, we saw some great ideas come through. Now, without any further kind of ado and delay, I would love to make the announcement of the winners of this hackathon in the reverse order, I guess. The third position, the consolation third position winner is a Team 6DOF. Team 6DOF. Virtual clap to the winners. And they did a good presentation of their VR-based solution, especially I think Shivam, you're there, I guess. So yeah, well done, team. And we look forward to really, taking your idea forward and to how we can help you accelerate a global adoption and global validation as well. Definitely, there's a lot of leg in your idea, and we would definitely want to give the wings to really scale. So well done, Shivam and 6DOF team, and well presented as well. The runner-up or the second prize winner of today's hackathon is Team Innova from Sri Lanka and India. I think you guys are based in Sri Lanka. Great to have you support. And that solution with the smart shoes is phenomenal. Obviously, it definitely touches on a market need and a segment which is not seen a lot of innovative solutions, and I think that's a great part of your journey, and we would love to see how we can accelerate, and I think it's a global proposition. We can work with some large corporates as well, large sportswear companies as well. I see that we can help you collaborate. And above all, it definitely touches on quite a few UN SDG goals as well. So definitely looking forward to working with you, your team there, Team Innova from Sri Lanka/India, and we will definitely collaborate with the Indian ecosystem and Australian ecosystem as well to help you scale and get you to be commercially viable and successful. The winners of this hackathon. Thank you again. A virtual clap for Team Innova there. The winners of this hackathon, I know you guys have done well. In fact, I've seen you through the program as well. Very well curated team and very well thought through. And the potential to scale your solution and pivot your solution into a few other opportunities. It's a market segment where, including in Australia, in fact, even our Prime Minister just announced recently a big funding for the aged care sector, where there's a huge opportunity to improve the services being provided, and for the end user, who may be in an aged care facility or living in their own homes or support by their own family or relatives in group home care or other facilities where, and especially in times of pandemic or times of challenges where there is disruption in normal services, having a solution that really helps the aged people to really be better engaged and looked after, and also have better access to services. That's definitely something which has come out. And on that note, I think maybe you would have guessed it here. It is Team Sekhmet, the all-women team as well. They've been very passionate and they've thought through and they've presented well and they've gone through the various phases of this program as well. So Team Sekhmet, well done being the winners of this REHACK hackathon program. And I think, Mansi and team, are you guys there? You can say a quick few words before we wrap up. Well done again, Mansi and team. If you're there, maybe you can turn on your video and have less than a minute to talk through.
Yes, hello.
Hi, Ranganayaki. Yes.
Hi. So it's been such a good journey these 2 days of the hackathon. It was such an enlightening experience working with you guys and you giving us insights, and not to mention the workshops were very, very helpful. And it's been this is actually our very first hackathon, and winning is such an exaltation. So yeah.
Thank you, Ranganayaki. Ansi, you want to say a few words?
Yeah, it's incredible to win, of course. Like, we started this journey, I think 6 months back with no idea where to go. And we just knew we wanted to help the dementia patients because we've seen our own family members suffer with it. And to get such a validation that something that we came up with is being recognized by all of you as potentially making a difference in the world, it's a really big boost in the confidence. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mansi, and well done. And you guys are based in Coimbatore, I believe, but yeah, definitely look forward to supporting you. We'll share the details through our partners, IncubateIND and T-Hub, on how we take this forward. As I said, once we have the top 3 winners here, it's not the end of the story for the rest of the top 10 or the rest of the people who are registered, who actively work with you all. We believe Australia and India startup ecosystem has a great journey together ahead. Great markets, complementary markets for each other. For soft landing program to really help validate before you go global and scale to European or US market or service broader Asian market. So I think more and more programs that we'll have collaborating with our partners, T-Hub, Atal Innovation Mission, and other ecosystem partners, and bring these two ecosystems closer. I'm sure we'll have more such great outcomes achieved and help some of these startups accelerate much faster and achieve those successful outcomes. I also, on that note, want to thank IncubateIND, our support partner, who have kind of powered with their technology, their whole team, the end-to-end execution. So Samkit, personally, thank you to you, Kaushik, Rohit, Shakti, all of you. Thank you. If I've missed out the names, thank you for the great work that you've done to support this program. I also want to acknowledge and thank our support ecosystem partners. I want to thank Australia-India Business Council, which we are part of. They've been supportive for the Australia-India Innovation Bridge right from the beginning. And really, we see the startup ecosystem will definitely continue to be supported by the Australia-India Business Council. And some of the programs being curated in partnership with across all the industry chapters we have. We've also had great support from Indo-Australia Chamber of Commerce, our counterpart in India, representing our chamber focused on Indo-Australia relationship. And also want to recognize all other partners, 100 Open Startups, Thai Bangalore. We've had some great support from Vijayatha and team there. Navratan and team from the NASCOM Center of Excellence IoT. We've got great support from Women Innovator, Tripti and team. We've got great support from our support partners, the ecosystem partners there in India, representing various incubators, accelerators as well. On that note, Ravi, thank you again as a ecosystem partner in India. I think there's been one great event to share. and collaborate on. And I look forward to having more of such events to be curated as well. Thank you again. Thanks for taking time. And we'll reach out to all the participants. And thank you again, jury, and all our guests as well. Thank you. Appreciate it. And good night and namaskar. Have a lovely Ganesh Chaturthi. Thank you.
Thanks, Irfan, for all your fabulous hard work and for chairing as well.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.